Hey, so let's create a simple eyeshadow for a spring look. We're starting with the shade Cupcake. Cupcake is a very close to skin tone shade, which I feel is really necessary. What I've done previous is I camouflage some of the green, the purple, and the red veins in my eyes. That happens as we get older. So I've used our brightening highlight in shade Linen. I put it in the corner of my eye and on the entire lid. So now I'm using Cupcake eyeshadow, and I've already put that coat on there, but I'm going back in with a more dense brush now, and I'm defining that brow out a little bit. You can do that in the beginning, and you can also go back in the end and really define that out. So that just gives a younger look, lifting the brows and defining them. So I'm starting with the shade Crush now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight that inner corner of my eyes just to add a little bit of pop. You can also do that later, but I just started there with this particular eyeshadow. So now I'm going to be focusing on the crease area, and I'm going to use the shade called Havana. So I'm just really working in the crease area, just softly adding that color. This color has a lot of pigment to it, a lot of color payoff. So then once I get that on, I'm going to soften it on the top of the crease bone and down onto the lid a little bit. You could leave the bottom lid a little lighter if you wanted. I just chose to blend it all out just for this particular look. You could stop here if you're a minimalist and you really didn't want to add a lot of shadows, just something, to create a little color. You could absolutely stop here. So I'm blending that out now on the top of the crease, but I'm making sure to still leave the highlight under the brow bone, or under the brows rather. So I'm just softly blending all of that on the entire lid, around the crease and down to the lashes. So next I'm going to add a little bit of depth in the corner, and the shade I'm going to be using is Moscow. And this has just, it's in the same color family, but it has just a little bit more color and a little bit more depth and a little bit more shine. The other colors were more of what I would say would be a matte shade. So this is just going to add depth in there. You could use this as an entire lid shade, except for under the brow. But I'm just kind of defining those corners out a little bit because I do have deep set eyes. I like to go back in and use a bigger, softer, fluffy brush just to soften and blend everything out. That's not necessary, especially if you're going for an evening look. It's really nice though. I like keeping everything soft because I think it's just a more youthful look. So the only thing you need to do is just finish up.